So the drama and the drama and just everything that girls go through with those bad boys or the guys who aren't really treating them right, it kind of keeps us excited. I mean, I think it's also a sense of maturity within the woman as well, though. We do have to take responsibility because I've grown past that part of my life and I'm exhausted of it and I do not want a bad boy anymore. I did when I was like in high school and college, but it's like once you reach this mature state in your life and you start to see how like bad boys treat their women consistently, that it's not gonna go away and they're not gonna grow up and they're not gonna treat you how you want to be treated, you get tired of it and you get tired of the drama. You become emotionally exhausted and you finally want Mr. Right. So, we as women, we definitely have to accept responsibility. But for that phase or that time that women go through it, it's all about the excitement. It's all about the rush because we have all these other guys who are calling us 24/7 and then we have the one that's not thinking about it. So then we're like, why is he not thinking about me? Who is he talking to? Who's keeping him occupied? And it becomes this extreme challenge versus all the other guys in your life who are kind of easy. So yeah, our fault and yours.
Hi, this is Rashad Connor, the founder of Greater Wisdom. Please subscribe to the channel for the latest updates of the channel. In today's video, what we're going to be talking about is the analysis of Pookie, Ray Ray, and the Educated Lame. In the Black manosphere, the terms Pookie, Ray Ray, and the Educated Lame are almost similar to the personalities of Cads Vs Dads we often hear. In a nutshell, it basically implies the alpha and beta chasm, men with swagger and men without it. Cads Vs Dads is a representation of the men that women want to generally have sex with and the men that basically make good providers. Let's get a little deeper into this. Typically back in the day when soap operas were very popular, educated lames were depicted in a variety of films and television shows. The more notable were Steve Urkel from Family Matters and Carlton from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Black media is partly responsible for constructing these archetypes. Musicians such as Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, and a few others have endorsed the Pookie and Ray Ray types. One of the reasons why this archetype becomes very popular, not only in black culture but throughout our nation, is because it sublimates women's sexual imperative, which is to get and breed with the man that just gets it. Men that tend to shed light on community issues and uncomfortable truths tend to be considered the educated lames. Hardworking men and college-educated men, or coons, tend to also be the educated lames.
Do you think Mr. Don Corleone can give me some water next time, please?
I hate weddings.
Excuse me?
Wait a minute. Oh my God.
Oh,
Tookie!
Lord.
Tookie!
I thought there was something wrong for him.
That's my girlfriend. Come meet her. Put her
We'll lose our table.
Coincidence, come or what, girl? Oh, do you think I should have worn the headdress like the other bridesmaids?
Absolutely, it's tradition.
We're gonna lose our table.
Oh, what the? You got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, Eric.
What the hell is your problem?
Tookie, you need your glasses. This is not Eric.
Damn, if you look a lot like Eric.
Well, damn, I ain't, okay? Lens crafters, they have your shit ready in less than an hour. I'll be inside, Ru.
What is up with Brian Gumbo?
He is a little stuffy, isn't he? I'm trying to loosen him up a little bit.
What am I doing here?
The issue with the educated lames axiom of black women only wanting Pookie and Ray Ray is that those types of women are usually urban themselves, or they're women that just become susceptible to the bad boy appeal. There are women that deal with Pookies and Ray Rays in a particular phase in their lives. This is typically when they're much younger though. There are also women that are generally comfortable with just being with them. This can be black women of any age. This statement is not entirely correct. On a foundational level, women are seeking for a certain confidence in a man that conveys to her that he just gets it. This has to be pronounced in a man's disposition, subcommunication, and bearing. It's that confidence thing that the so-called educated lames can't seem to grasp, and they think that women should pragmatically follow through with their dating and relationship lives just as they do. Women aren't inherently sober-minded when it comes to the mating process, especially when they're in their teens and early 20s. This explains their basic nature. Men are a little more because there are more men, especially the so-called educated lames, that tend to be long-term thinkers. Masculine nature is goal-oriented. Men have more time to build value in the sexual marketplace. Typically, a man's sexual prime and his sense of selectivity is between the ages of 35 and 55, while a woman's is between the ages of 18 and 27. Pookie and Ray Ray types aren't the top 20%ers, so they're not true high-value men. Maybe men who society perceives as scoundrels that have succeeded in a drug cartel or human trafficking, but the average Pookie and Ray Ray types are everyday hoodlums that can't enter corporate America due to acquiring a criminal history. This is no ridicule towards those types of men. However, black women stating that there's no college-educated men or productive men that are not willing to make investments in the African American community throughout the nation is not entirely true. Sure, there's more work to be done in the black communities, but to only blame black men for the disorders and dysfunction of the black community is not valid. This is not a mock to all black women, of course, but for the ones that insist in these discussions and conclude that the failures of the community should be aimed towards black men only. Some of the disorders we see in these communities are not produced entirely by black men. It is a combination of things that led to its dysfunctionality, such as systemic racism, which is manifested predominantly in the American and United Kingdom public school system and other parts of their government. The social imperative is not only influenced by the attitudes of feminism, but by racism as well. Black men tend to be the most susceptible targets, which contributes to the psychological warfare and identity crisis many of them are experiencing.